Hello and welcome to another interesting English language class. My name is Precious Balogun. Our theme for today is vocabulary development, and our topic is vocabulary associated with fishing and animal husbandry, but we'll be taking a look at fishing. By the end of this lesson, you should be able to explain the word fishing, list words associated with fishing, tell the meaning of the listed words relating to fishing, and lastly, make sentences with some words relating to fishing. Before we go on to the vocabulary of fishing, let's remind ourselves the meaning of vocabulary. Remember, in our previous class on vocabulary development, we said vocabulary is the set of words used in a particular language, occupation, or field of study. And remember that fishing is an occupation. Fishing is an act of catching fish with a fishing equipment. Now, let's go on to see words associated with fishing. The first word we have here is angle. Angle is a process of fishing with a hook and a line. And a person who fishes with a pole, rod and reel is called an angler. Also, we have aquaculture, which is the cultivation and harvest of aquatic plants and animals. Next, we have the word bait. Bait is anything that is used on a hook to attract and capture a fish. So it could be a worm or even a fish. Next, we have bobber. This is a float fixed to a line that holds a bait. So this is what we use to hold a bait when we try to fish. Another word here is cast. Cast is a process of throwing in a fishing line that has a bait into the water by using a rod or a reel. Next, we have feeder. A feeder is a cylindrical container of various sizes used for holding baits. Also, we have fingerling. A fingerling is a young fish in its first or second year of life. Next, we have fish. A fish is a creature that lives in water and has fins and gills. Moving on, we have fisherman or fisherwoman. This is a person, a man or a woman, who fishes as an occupation or for pleasure. Moving on, we have fishing. Fishing is a process of catching fish. Also, we have fishing line. A fishing line is a long cord attached to a baited hook used for fishing. Also, we have fishing gear. It is a term for the collection of fishing tackles such as rods, reels, hooks, line, and so on. We also have the word fly. Fly is an artificial bait made from natural or man-made materials to imitate aquatic or terrestrial insects. Also, we have fry. A fry is a baby fish. It is a fish in its early stages of development. Moving on, we have ground bait. A ground bait is a mixture of breadcrumbs, crushed ham, and flavor used to attract fish. Next, we have the word hook. A hook is a U-shaped strong wire, sharpened at one end and tied to a fishing line for catching fish. Also, we have inshore fishing. Inshore fishing is a type of fishing done in water up to 30 meters deep or less, and it requires the fisherman to fish from his boat. Next, we have jig. This is a fishing lure that is jerked to attract a fish. Next, we have lake. A lake is a body of fresh water surrounded by land. Moving on, we have landing net. A landing net is a net with a long handle to retrieve the fish once brought to the bank of the river or water. Next, we have offshore fishing. Offshore fishing is different from the inshore fishing. This is a type of fishing done from a boat in a sea as deep as 100 feet. It is also referred to as deep sea fishing. Also, we have plug. A plug is a plastic or wooden imitation of a fish with hooks attached to it, and it is used for catching a predator fish. Next, we have pole fishing. This is a method of fishing that requires the fisherman or fisherwoman to use a pole with line and hook attached without a reel. Next, we have pond. A pond is an artificially formed body of water. Also, we have predator. A predator is an animal that hunts and kills another animal for food. An example is pike. Next, we have red worm. This is a type of worm used as a fishing bait, and it is usually found in manure heaps. I'm sure you've heard me mention the word reel more than once. A reel is an instrument that holds the fishing line. It is attached to the handle of the rod to cast and retrieve the fishing line. Next, we have the word rod. A rod is a fishing instrument used to cast the bait. We have different types of rods. For example, we have the boat rod, the fly rod, the spinning rod, and so on. Next, we have the word spin. A spin is a fish with spinners or lures. Now, what is a spinner? A spinner may be a metallic or plastic in the shape of a fish and that is shiny, used to attract fishes. A spinner is also called a lure. It is used with a spinning rod and a fast retrieval reel. Next, we have spinning rod. A spinning rod is a rod designed to specially assist with spinning lure. Next, we have the word spoon. This spoon is different from the normal spoon we use in eating. A spoon is a metallic lure shaped like a tablespoon. Moving on, we have surf fishing. This is a type of fishing where the fisherman or the angler is standing on the shoreline and fishing. Next, we have the surf caster. This is a person who fishes from the shore by casting into the surf. Next, we have the swim feeder. A swim feeder is a weighted frame around which the fisherman or fisherwoman packs his ground bait, and this is an easy way to get the feed near the fish. Next, we have the word tackle. This refers to a fishing equipment. Also, we keep this equipment in a box called the tackle box. It is a container where we keep our fishing equipment when we are transporting them to a fishing location. Also, we have the word tide. A tide is the rise and fall of seas, oceans, and rivers caused by a gravitational pull of the moon and sun. Next, we have tight lines. This is a word used by an angler, which means good luck. Also, we have the word terminal tackle. This is the end gear of a fishing line, such as the hook, weights, and swivels. Also, we have the word trace. This is a part of the setup made by a line and hook attached together. Next, we have treble hook. A treble hook is a hook used by a fisherman or woman when fishing for a predator. Also, we have the word troll. This is to pull or drag a bait behind a moving boat. Next, we have trotting. Trotting is a process of allowing a float to travel at a speed of a current when fishing. Next, we have long trotting. Long trotting is a process of allowing the float and the baited hook to travel a reasonable distance downstream. Also, we have the word vice. Vice is used for fly tying. The hook is gripped in the vice and then the fly is built. Also, we have waders. Waders are waterproof boots worn by the angler to keep them dry when fishing. Remember that sometimes they have to go into the water to fish. So they wear these waders to keep themselves dry when fishing. Next, we have wading. Wading is a process of standing or crossing a river or stream on foot. This is usually done in a shallow river or stream. Remember I explained that waders are waterproof boots worn by an angler or a fisherman or a fisherwoman. Next, we have watercraft. Watercraft is when the angler reads the water and its conditions to find a suitable location for fishing. And lastly, we have yearling. A yearling is a 1-year-old fish. I'm sure with this you have learned new words in fishing. Now let's look at some sentences we made with some of these words. We have fishing is a lucrative business. Another sentence we have is Mr. Ajayi taught Ade and I how to use a fishing line. Next, Jide and Kemi love surf fishing. Another sentence says, Moyo caught a yearling this morning. Next, Mr. Ajayi is an angler. And lastly, my dad loves pole fishing. Before we go, let's take a quick summary of all we've learned so far. We've learned that vocabulary is a set of words used in a particular language, field of study, or occupation. We've also learned that fishing is the act of catching fish with a rod, line or hook for food or as a sport. And lastly, we've learned that some words associated with fishing include angle, hook, bait, and so on. Having gone through all this, let's answer some test questions. Question 1. Aquaculture is a process of dash. A. Staking and drying fishes. B. Cultivating aquatic plants and animals. C. Making baits enticing for the predator. Or D. Harvesting pikes and eels from the water. The correct answer is B. Aquaculture is a process of cultivating aquatic plants and animals. Question 2. The process of fishing from a boat that is far from the land is called dash. A. Seashore fishing. B. Inshore fishing. C. Spinning fishing. D. Offshore fishing. The correct answer is D. Offshore fishing. This is where we draw the curtain for today's class. I'm sure you have learned new words related to fishing. Until we meet again in our next class, see you and bye.